All right, film is literature. We're here. I'm Justin. This is James. James, what's up, my friend?
Nothing much, nothing much. Just living a dream. You caught
Great.
me at work today, so I figured we'd do something early, get it over with, so we can. We usually be eating too late. You know that after we
Yeah. Oh,
eat
yeah.
after this. So
Big time.
so
Um, yeah. I see you're dressed up for work. I like the shirt. I'm still in my work shirt. I guess you could say too. So
yeah,
different styles.
I'm actually underdressed to be honest with you, but it's all good.
Nice. Nice. So first of all, podcast hell is where the YouTube channel where you can find us. Film is literature on the podcast hell channel. We got to 400 subscribers, James. We're up
Yeah,
to 400 subs.
that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great.
Yeah, we're on our way up.
Look, we know how it is to be at the bottom. So
Right.
yeah, so we can't complain. I mean, you know. We
No,
do this
yeah, I
just
mean,
fun.
it's just
Can you
something.
see me? I'll make sure you
Yeah,
can see me. I take this
yeah,
when
I
we
can
take
see
the
it.
background off. Or
No, you're good. You're good.
okay.
Yeah, it kind of blends in a little bit. Like, yeah, that's why I quit doing the backgrounds. But no,
Oh
you look
no,
good though. You look good.
no! I want people to see me. I want to blend in with the black background.
No, you don't blend in. It's just like sometimes if you move it, there you go. That looks good. I like that.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
I
you
like
go.
that for
You can
sure.
see all of me.
Yeah,
Matter of fact,
yeah.
let me dim the lights a little bit so I can make it a little,
Ooh,
sensual.
ooh, set the mood. Set the mood for us. Oh
Yeah,
man, this is gonna be a fun one.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Dim the lights.
yeah.
Turn the lights down
So
low. I'm sorry.
yeah, there you go. All right, let's don't turn the ladies on too much right now. So we're doing a newer movie again here on the show. You picked it. It's
Yep.
called The Tomorrow War, starring Chris Pratt, an Amazon original movie from 2021. I'll let you briefly describe the movie before we dive into details and stuff.
Okay. So tomorrow's war, basically, it tells you it's a war of tomorrow, meaning 50 years from now. Um,
Not, it wasn't 50 years; it was 30 years.
oh yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
30 years from now. Yes, 30 years from now. Not now, but whatever year that was in. I don't even know what year that was in, to be honest with you.
it was 2021.
Oh, I thought that was the year the movie. Okay, but okay.
Yeah, it was the year the movie took place or was made, but it was also when it took place, and then he jumps to the war takes place in 2050, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So basically, there's a future war that with aliens. Of course, some aliens got have something to do with it, and what ends up happening, our future selves need help because we're losing the war. So what they were able to do was create this time travel. They can travel back and forth between the 30 years, and then they only can travel back and forth. They can't travel to another time. I mean, another piece of the time period. Um, I would say we can explain it later, but I'm not real sciencey. but
Yeah, we're definitely not explaining it because that always confuses me in every time travel movie. It confuses me a
every
little bit.
time, so yeah,
Well,
so
but it's also in every time travel movie. It seems like it's a different like in some time travel movies they can go everywhere. Like
right. But
it's always a
was
different
good.
reason. Yeah, this one was good, but it's always a different reason why they can and why they can't.
Yeah, so usually they can't detect when they hit. They're going to hit sometime in that window of whatever year it is. But this one, it
Hmm.
was real specific to 30 years from now, from right here, which which is which is I guess was the good because they had to do a worldwide draft. So back in the day when they did the Vietnam U.S. draft, they did a worldwide draft because this was a world crisis, not just a U.S. crisis. So they started drafting people, and people was going back and forth, or back in if you made it. So you go 30 years into the future to fight a war for 7 days, and if you make it, you come back on the seventh day. And you know, it was action packed. It wasn't the regular aliens where you are used to. They may talk to you. They may have some mind control. these were just savages of aliens. Just
Which I did like. They kind of explained that towards the end of the movie. They kind of explained that those were just like those weren't actually those were like the
right.
aliens like pets or whatever that they were bringing just to kill people.
Yeah, these things were savages, and they were hungry.
Yeah,
It was just eating. They
yeah.
were just consuming. Um, I guess us humans, and basically Chris Pratt and some other folks kind of unlocked the how to beat them. That's what was eluding the victory over these aliens. Chris Pratt actually didn't do it. I think I think his daughter, which was another nuance. His daughter he had a daughter in the past that grew up to be his daughter is leading the charge, which was.
But I think though,
Mhm.
I mean, at least I could sense like early on when he like, I just felt like there was going to be a twist. Like, did you
Yes,
feel that way? Like, I didn't know it was going to be his daughter. To be honest
right.
with you, I thought maybe his dad was going to be in the future somehow.
His dad was too old, but
No, but maybe he found the time travel also or something. I don't know. I knew that there was going to be some kind of twist.
you know what? I was waiting for like Chris Pratt. Why him? You know what I mean? But I to be honest with you, I will get into why I like that. But the Tomorrow War. So again, we fighting the war for tomorrow, fighting for the survival of our species, not anything else. The survival of just the human race, period. Because the way these aliens were consuming humans, they were going to eradicate the human population, and we no longer exist. So I'm not just talking about humans; you're talking about anything that's living on Earth. I think they was eating animals. They was eating. They just eradicated continents, and so they basically, from a long story short, they beat them. They found out how to beat them. They found out what to do, and they done it. They actually had to do something they had to find the crash landing of the aliens and kind of from the present day, and you beat them there. So it was like they crash landed on our planet, and they was frozen to death because they crash landed so long ago. So it was like the ice age, and they actually got frozen to death. And it was as you know, as climate changing, and we're doing the defrosting, or we're
Defrost. Yeah.
defrosting. So these animals or these aliens or these pets, whatever, had defrosted, and the actual aliens died. But they was preserving these pets, so I don't know how they did it, but it was almost like they were breeding them. And they just got loose, got matured, got loose, and start killing. And then they reproduce so fast, they multiply so fast, because they had basically it's like a hive. It was a queen who had all the kids, and they was just multiplying so fast. So now they had all these creatures that's just taking over the earth and just consuming all our resources. So, nutshell, hopefully that kind of gives a good depiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's dive into some details. So the movie came out in 2021, which means it was kind of made during the COVID period of time, which makes sense because really, there is kind of a bunch of people in this movie, but if you really pay attention, there's really only about 8 to 10 people that actually have lines, and you can see the social distancing still matters, and pretty much all the movie takes place outside because again, during COVID, we couldn't really be inside around each other. So I don't know if you kind of caught on to that, but I always kind of pay attention to that when I see a movie made like around that time, because I'm like, let's see how they dealt with it.
And you know what? I now that you say that, yes. Even when they was in that hangar or whatever they was at, and even when they drafted him, it was only the people, the doctors or whatever, the nurses that was checking them out, and it was just him. Like, if you drafting people, you're drafting hundreds of people.
Exactly.
Everybody got to go through that. Yeah. So yeah, that made it seem a little weird to me. Like, why are they just getting him? Or they just trying to focus on his experience? But yes, I didn't put it together that COVID maybe. Yeah, but yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, so it's the movie costed $200 million to make. That number seemed really high to me.
Mm, mm. There was a lot of sci-fi. I don't know what you call it, green screening stuff.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see it. I can see.
Yeah, I mean the aliens were very well detailed, so making each one probably was a lot of work. So that's probably where the money went.
Yeah, I mean, and the fighting of the ice, fighting under the ice, and all the
Hmm.
explosions and all the killing, and yeah, there was a lot of sci-fi and a lot of I don't know what you call it, the
CGI.
yeah, CGI stuff. Yes, yes. So it was a
Yeah.
lot of that. But I think they did it pretty well, though. To be honest with you, as
Oh,
far
for sure.
as it wasn't,
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't like first grade, or
No,
B movie. This was, so the ironic thing is I accidentally, because I was looking for something to watch, and I accidentally ran into this. Like that's like, oh, so that's when I realized I only saw when I told you about this. I only saw maybe 10 minutes of the movie. I said, look, we got to do this
nice.
movie. I stopped because it caught my attention from the get go, right? Not the very, not maybe the first 3 minutes, but
Yeah.
after you get past that, you're like, oh, this movie's pretty cool, especially when I come on that baseball field. We need your help.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and I mean, I like that. I like that's one reason why I enjoy doing this video, because we always sometimes we pick movies that we don't necessarily know, and it's like, oh, okay. Like I would never actually, like I probably never would have watched this. Like, I'm not going to dive into if I like it or not yet, because I want to wait till we, get towards the end of the show. But this is like a movie that I probably never would have watched, just because, it's on Amazon Prime. It's an Amazon Prime movie. I just don't like movies that are made specifically for streaming. I like movies that would go to theaters and
right.
stuff like that. But
and it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss.
Exactly.
It's definitely that. So
yeah. So the movie's rated PG-13. I think that sounds about right. That was a good call.
The only reason I think it was, it could have been, they could have R, if they put it rated R, they would have been more gore.
Yeah.
Or there was no nudity scene, so.
No, which we'll dive into that. 2 hours and 18 minutes, James. 2 hours and 18 minutes. Way too long. Am I right?
Yes, I agree. I can't lie about that. Yes.
All right, good. We'll dive into that on our least favorite scenes, because I have a lot of thoughts on that. Let's talk a little bit about the cast. There's no box office, because obviously he didn't go to the box office, so we're going to skip where I talk about the box. Let's talk about the cast. Chris Pratt, obviously the star of the movie.
Yes.
Are we both? I'm a big fan of Chris Pratt. Big fan of Chris Pratt. Are you a big fan of Chris Pratt?
I like Chris Pratt. I do like Chris Pratt. And I actually, when I first saw it, I thought that was Captain America, but I was like, no, that's not him. But because he has one of those faces that he's always in something.
Well, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. Oh, he was a smart talk. Yeah. I got it.
Yeah. So you were thinking wrong superhero movie, is what you were thinking.
Well, yeah, but he's been in a lot of stuff though. I've seen him everywhere.
Yeah, he was in some of the Jurassic Park movies. Some of the Jurassic Park movies. Yep. I'm a big fan. So, and this movie actually, I think he's best when he's kind of like a comedic, kind of like a semi-funny guy. And this movie didn't really play on that too much. Yeah,
no. He in my opinion, he's a good actor, to be honest with you.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm sitting there trying to figure out. I'm looking through his movies. I'm trying to figure out like when did he play a lead? And he co-led a lot of stuff, but he led this one. He put this on his back, if you ask me.
Oh, this is one of the few movies where he's the main lead. Yeah, because Guardians of the Galaxy is a group thing.
Right.
Jurassic Park. I guess he was the lead in Jurassic Park, really.
Maybe. I don't. So when I think about Jurassic Park, I don't think of him. Maybe the last one.
You think of the dinosaurs.
But and like if this movie right here tomorrow, it's all him. I wouldn't even, it's all him. Even though he has some other cast members, but it's all Chris.
Yeah. The rest of the cast, you had his dad was played by J.K. Simmons. Remember, we did one of his movies before. He was in Whiplash.
I enjoy him though. He's been around for a while.
Me too. Big fan.
I enjoy. I like he kind of versatile with his acting because he can play a bad boy, he can play somebody nice, he can play a nerd, and he's played those things for his movies I've seen.
Man, he literally, he's all over the place. Like that's,
Yeah.
I enjoy that. I enjoy when actors are all over the place. You know what I mean? Like that way you get to see multiple sides of them.
Yep.
Let's talk about. I guess the only other two people I knew in this movie, and maybe you knew more, but the only other two people I knew was his wife, Chris Pratt's wife. She was played by Betty Gilpin. I don't know if you know Betty Gilpin or not.
No.
She's from man, I guess her big thing would have been like Nurse Jackie, that show.
So I never seen Nurse Jackie. I always wanted to see it. I heard it was pretty. It was a show though. It was like a TV show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
she hasn't really done too many movies, really. Like I think that was like she was also in Glow, which was like the female wrestling show on Netflix.
Yeah.
But anyways, I knew her, and then his daughter in the future was Yvonne Strahovski. I don't know if you know who that is.
Are you saying she's hot ski?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that. I mean, that's definitely why I know her, is because she is. But she's been in a lot of things. I don't know if you knew her or not.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I know who she is, but this was like one of the first movies that I've ever seen of her, and we'll get into this in our least favorite scenes. I want to talk about it, but yeah, I think this was pretty cool. But those were the only people in this cast I knew. I didn't know anybody else. Did you?
So I'm trying to. So it's one other lady. Let me get to her. Marilyn Marilyn Rajapsky, not Rajapsky, Raskub.
Yeah.
She plays. I've seen her in a few things.
Yeah, she's been like some small roles in a lot of things.
Yeah, she's been small roles in a lot of things. I was surprised to see her here. And I would have liked to see her not die.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody had to die. Somebody. The way the movie is, you knew that some of the characters had to die. So
yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess I did know her. I didn't think about her because it was such a small role.
Yeah.
And kind of in and out. But yeah, I did know her. So there was that. Yeah, that was it though. I didn't know like the two main black guys. I didn't know. Did you know them?
Nope.
Me neither.
Nope.
Which we'll talk about them in a little bit. All right, so you ready to jump in to our categories here? I guess let me see. Hold on, let's see. It was okay. Let's jump into our categories. Are you ready? Our categories. Yeah. Number one, favorite scene. Favorite scene in this movie, James. I'm gonna let you go first.
So I might have I'm gonna say I have a few because
okay, cool.
The nerd part of me in this movie, it was the thing where it was in the I don't know what you call it. They was in the class, and the black guy, the first nobody black guy that you don't know, or nobody knows. We're talking about. Do you see that everybody's here is over 40?
Oh yeah.
Over 40. I was trying to figure out why they was over 40, and then they had some nerdy thing going and say, well, he's supposed to die in 7 years. So everybody in this room were dead 30 years in the future, which is a criteria. You have to be you go 30 years in the future. You won't be alive, so it won't be a paradox or something. It kind of just threw me off. Like I'm sitting there thinking, like, wow. I mean, that's the nerd part of me. But like because I'm sitting there, we got so many people you can send up there, but you don't want to send somebody that's younger and they run into themselves, right? And
for sure,
how that works. But or they see themselves die. That's a whole nother thing, right?
Yeah.
But that was my favorite scene that kind of set it in my mind. I think the other thing was just like the first fight scene, like the first kill scene, like they go straight into it. Like there's no drill, no training. They shoot the gun probably
Where
once.
they're like basically like when they're searching for the when they're trying to rescue the scientists, but they're already dead.
Right. When they just drop them in,
Yeah,
they drop them into a fire zone. Like
yeah.
to me, it just kind of starts there. Like, oh wow, like they and then they drop them in. Like when they drop them into the zone, they don't really drop them into a safe place. They drop them into like some
Well,
people die
yeah,
even on the drop.
but if you remember though, they kind of played that as if something went wrong with the system.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's not where they were supposed to be. They were supposed to be like on the beach.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Something wrong with the system. Yeah, but yeah, to me, when they drop them in there, they're fighting. They're going to find this. Half the people's dead. So let's say not half. This is another thing. Now that I remember, now that I'm looking at it. There was only like 8 people that we're following, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, only 8 people that we're following.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
guess
seeing,
the rest of the team, I guess the rest of the people decided that made it through the jump decided not to go with them.
or no, or the animals or the aliens killed them because
Yeah,
they
that's true.
dropped them
Yep.
in because the aliens they was eating them if you dead or alive. They was eating these,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
right. So that to me, I liked it. I mean, it was some. Of course, there's some impossible scenes that you really can't get through. Like you know, you're not killing these things like that. These things was bulletproof. They're scared, and I can say everybody's over 40, so everybody's not even physically fit to even shoot to fight
Yeah.
these people. But the mere fact that they stood up, shot them, did all the hero stuff. It was I enjoyed it. So
Yeah. I mean, I think that was my favorite scene as well, probably, was that first fight scene.
yeah,
Just the whole chase kind of through the city. Yeah, I mean, that was, and then the fact that they didn't really show us the aliens until that point, I thought was pretty cool.
yeah,
So we didn't really know what to expect. Yeah, I like that part for sure. I just like, how it kind of, and it kind of introduced us a little bit to kind of how all the characters are. But yeah, that was my favorite scene. Also, there was a couple others that I liked. I did like the part where Chris Pratt and his daughter were trying to figure out the solution or whatever. And they
yeah,
were just, I don't know, like, and then honestly, I thought one of the best parts too was just Chris Pratt and his dad when they first met. And he's like, "Are you wearing a wire? Did you just check me for a wire?" And
yeah,
I think just because I think those two are the best actors in this movie. So them two just playing off of each other, I think was just, a good scene. Because I always enjoy when two really good actors kind of play off each other. And also, which I like this, I like the part in the scene just because late in the movie when they go in the classroom and the kid's explaining the volcano.
right,
I kind of, even though I think that scene makes no sense, but I just kind of like how, I don't know, I guess I like learning stuff, and he was
right,
basically teaching us. So yeah, but I think we both agree the best part was the first fight, the chase through the town.
yeah. Chase through the
Was
town.
pretty awesome. Yeah, let's get to least favorite scene then. I have a lot of least favorite scenes actually, so I'll let you go first.
So I think one of my so the beginning, I didn't understand the beginning part, like how it opened up. It almost kind of like if I couldn't find a remote control, I might not have got to the other parts. I didn't enjoy that. I just didn't figure out. Maybe they was trying to set up the volcano thing, maybe for later on. Uh,
Maybe.
but okay, but they could have started off at the school. They had to start off the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like him at home. That's one of my least favorite scenes. I think another. So your favorite scene, one of your favorite scenes was the dad playing off the dad. I was like, what's the purpose though? You come over there, you go over there. Dad is this anti-government guy. You get over there, you start talking, you start trying to get this thing off your arm. What's the purpose? Like nothing happened. I was like, even though I like the guy, like this is my guy, right? I like him, but like I just didn't find a purpose in that scene.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I do agree with that actually.
Yeah. There was no purpose in that scene. I think there was a lot of scenes that maybe was no purpose. Um, some of the montage with him and the daughter reminiscing or not reminiscing, and she's, if you're going to tell me how shitty of a dad I was, just tell me from the get go. Don't sit here and wind me up, right? I mean,
It's yeah.
So
I mean, go ahead, continue.
yeah,
Go ahead, continue.
but, and then I'm trying to understand, like, if I'm shitty, if I was that shitty of a dad or what have you, you bring like. Then again, it makes more sense now. Now there's only, you ever notice there was a lot of him and her in the damn scene, like through the whole thing?
Oh yeah.
You got some people just
Yeah.
coming through, but it's always him and her. Yeah, that was weird. Okay, okay.
So I think we both agree the absolute worst part of the movie was the beginning.
Yeah.
Even at the very, very beginning where it shows him falling out of the sky into the pool, which is basically a flash forward. Like, basically, that's like the later on in the movie. I didn't like how it started, and then especially when they showed me that part later in the movie, I was like, this makes it even worse because usually when you have a flashback, it's like, when you do that, it's like you start with a scene late in the movie. They started with a scene that's literally like 20 minutes in, and you're like, I don't know, like, what was the point? I really didn't like how the people came out onto the football field during the soccer game and started was like, we need your help. We're from the future. I didn't like that. I thought that was horrible. A horrible way to tell us, because that's basically telling us what's going on. Horrible way to tell us what's going on.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. And I'm with you. I think there's a lot of things in this movie that were just pointless. Like you said, even the dad and Chris talking to each other. Yeah, that scene is worthless. You can totally do without that scene. The only way that scene makes sense is if it leads up to something else, and it doesn't lead up to anything.
If it leads up to him taking the thing off his arm.
Yeah, or
take it off his arm.
That's why I thought the twist was going to be the dad somehow was in the future, because I was like, what's the point of us seeing the dad? You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no reason for us to see the dad early in the movie. You could have just introduced him later. You know what I'm saying? And he would have had the same effect. Like, so that whole scene,
I was thinking about this too, because I end up watching it again, so especially those type of parts, and you kind of see the core. They try to make a correlation between him being a shitty dad and his dad being a shitty dad.
Yeah,
and his dad telling him why he was a shitty dad. He was a shitty dad because he went to war and he had PTSD, and he was being mean to his mom. And then later on, when the girl finally told him, that he was a shitty dad in the future, he was like, because he did this thing, and he was so traumatized that he ended up being a shitty dad.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, that means you changed history. You changed history. She changed history.
Oh, yeah.
She told him, well, he didn't do it. So that means there's a different outcome. So that's the different paradox, or a different.
Which was going to get to, I was getting to my thoughts on that. I didn't like how Chris Pratt is like made out to be this bad dad or whatever. I feel like they almost downplayed it. Like, they didn't give me a reason enough to be like, oh wow, Chris becomes a shitty dad. Like, wow. Like, well, it's like, man, they just got divorced. Like, come on, every parent gets divorced. Like, not every parent, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, there's reasons though. They did kind of.
They didn't give a big enough reason for me to be like, oh my God, this is, but yeah, you're right though. So basically they wanted Chris to go back to the future and solve the solution to kill the aliens, which would change the future. So really what we're seeing won't happen. So why does he care so much about his daughter living right there? That just made no sense to me. It's like, dude, just hurry up and get back. Just get back in time. Like,
right.
And then everything that happens after that, I'm just like, this makes no sense. So they go back. The government wants nothing to do with killing the aliens. He's got to go do it literally with random people.
Right.
And it's a random kid from his high school that tells him. And then even the dad at the end, you're like, oh God, the dad's going to die, which whatever. And then it's like the fight scene with the alien takes forever, and you're like, oh my god, now I don't even care if he dies. This scene's just taking way too long. And then, they all live, and then you get this little speech from Chris Pratt at the end, and I'm just like, man, literally the movie could have just ended whenever he went back in time. The movie, if the movie ended when Chris Pratt went back in time and saved us 25 minutes, I actually think this movie is better than it was.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. I was like, I think they to come back and find the aliens in the ice. Yeah, they probably could have just left it right there, like found it and because there's a part 2. I just realized it was a part 2 to this, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in one of our other categories. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
They could have left that and made because.
Yeah.
By the time they found the movie's long.
Yeah.
Right. It's already long, so now you just prolonged it another at least 30 minutes just to kind of show us what happened. Him fighting the aliens and blah blah. Him trying to kill the woman, the female, whatever. And all of a sudden he finds the female the first time he gets back. Right when he gets back. So
all right. So one other thing I want to mention about my least favorite part, and this is with a lot of newer movies. Whatever happens in the opening credits to movies, remember older movies, they'd always tell you who's in the movie. Why do movies not do that anymore? Literally, I have to wait until this movie's over to look it up to see what these actors' names are, because I'm like, man, I know who this person is. Like Betty Gilpin, I was like, man, I know who that girl is. What is her name? Just tell me at the beginning of the movie. Whatever happened to the opening credits.
I don't know, but I think what Amazon does, if you pause the movie, they tell you who's on the screen.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. But I hate that, though. I hate that because then I got to find the remote, pause it. It's too much work, man. It's too much work. Right. Put it in the movie. It takes away nothing from the movie if you put it in the movie. It actually, I think it adds to the movie, but whatever. All right. So, favorite character in this movie?
It was only 5-6 characters.
I know.
It's 5-6 characters. I'm gonna go with J.K. Simmons, just because I like it.
I like it.
Yeah, because I like him.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, that's because I like him. Because he's just one of those dudes that's he's one of those dudes.
No, dude, I'm 100% in. Yeah, I think he's my favorite character too. It's either him or the kid in the classroom talking about the volcanoes. Those are the only two. Those are the only two kids. The only two characters that I really like. Who's our least favorite character then?
I really didn't find a use for the dude that got deployed 3 times.
Man, right, dude, right? I wanted to like him so much, but why? There's nothing. Again, we could have just done without him.
Yeah, you could have went without him. Yeah. And and his whole thing was he has cancer. Do you realize he never realized everybody in that room was going to die within a few years. It doesn't matter. But I guess that wasn't his strong suit as far as noticing that everybody was old in that movie. In that room. But yeah, I don't. To me, that's probably my least favorite character because he was too hostile for no reason. Everybody's dying. Why are you so hostile? And you've been here 3 times, and now you're being mean to me, and you know what's about to happen. The what you call it, the craziness we're about to see, or the violence we're about to incur, and you sitting there, you supposed to just kind of just have some type of compassion. Look, this is going to be rough. Period. Yeah. So, I don't know. But that was what my least favorite character was. If I had to say anybody,
I really wasn't sure who my least favorite character was, but after hearing you say all that, I think I agree with you. I think, I already thought that his character was kind of pointless, and I could care less about him. But I wasn't sure if he was my least favorite. But after hearing you kind of talk me through it, yeah, definitely, that's my least favorite character. It's what was the point? It just didn't make no sense. It didn't make no sense at all. Let's see. Next category, nudity. There was no nudity. Should there have been any?
So if they wanted to take it up a notch, when they start killing when the aliens start killing some of these folks, you could a titty could have popped out or two. You know what I mean?
I like your style. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it could have popped out or two. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
but
but
no,
really,
it could use a little
yeah.
bit of duty. I mean, yeah,
I mean, it could have probably used something to make me way more interested in the movie, but I don't know where it would have came from. So yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
I
know.
mean,
There was
that
there was no love interest.
that is a fact. That
Yeah.
is a fact.
So next category is a sequel. Obviously, they're making a sequel, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So let's just hear your ideas. Would you watch? Is there any way that you would watch any kind of sequel or anything? Would you watch anything else to do with this movie? And what would it have to be about?
Uh, I'm just thinking like no, because they made it so final. So now they got to
Yeah.
make up something, right? They got to
Mm-hmm.
make up something because they killed the original. They blew up the original spacecraft, and they
Yep.
killed the one that got away. I don't know what else would they what are they trying to like? I don't know what you'll make it up of at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to bring in, I think, a whole another group of aliens.
Right.
Like, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I have zero interest in any kind of like.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you could. It's to me, it's kind of like Independence Day. Like, we didn't need a second one. They made a
No.
second one, but we didn't need it, and I never saw it. I'll probably never see it. So
Yeah. You didn't need a second. I mean, this movie was entertaining and it was
yeah.
good. Okay, it ended. Now you're just trying to get
Yep.
more money at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see the more money. Like I don't see how you're gonna pick up that storyline unless you didn't kill all the aliens at the first time. And I'm sure with the government talking about claiming victory, they went in there to make sure that it was they were dead, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, what would you do? Like, have the aliens just attacking now? So now it's not even a tomorrow war; it's just a present day war.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That'll be right. Present day war, and yeah. And then how would you? So the men could not procreate, or the male aliens couldn't
Yeah,
procreate without the woman, the female,
yeah, exactly.
and it seemed like they only had one female. So
Yeah, it was like one female per like group, I guess, or kind of like a beehive, like one female and then like
yeah, but
all
there
the
was only
males.
one hive.
Yeah,
So there was
yeah,
one hive.
exactly.
So
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
yeah.
yeah.
So,
All right, James. I think have we covered everything? Should we go ahead and rate the movie?
yeah, I think we can.
All right, rating the movie, James, 1 to 5. What are you giving this movie?
I'm gonna give the movie a solid 2.8.
Wow. Okay, you're going kind of high there.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 2.8. I enjoyed it. I mean, it's one of those
Yeah,
movies you can go to the bathroom and not cut the and not push pause. What
for sure. Yeah.
I want to see it. It was some dead spots, but we talked about them, and it was some misses, but
Yeah. All
I
right.
see
All
it
right.
worse.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we're done worse on this show. 100%. I'm gonna say I think this movie is entertaining. I'm glad I watched it. I actually would recommend it to other people. But like it's a movie where literally I feel like in a month from now I'm not gonna remember like anything about this movie. I'm gonna be like, oh, that's that Chris Pratt movie where he kills aliens and something. I don't even remember. So it kind of reminds me, but it's like at the same time I'm like, wow, that's actually a good movie. I'm like, that's actually a good movie. I kind of feel like it's like like when you watch like sports, right? Like you'll watch like you'll watch like the Super Bowl, for instance. Like the Seahawks just won the Super Bowl. 20 years from now, nobody's probably going to remember the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. Like,
That's a fact.
you know what I'm saying? They weren't a great team, but you're going to be like, oh, they did win. Like, this is kind of what that reminds me of. I'm like, that was a good movie, but I'm not ever going to remember it. Like, that's what. But it's weird, and it's really weird because I'm actually only going to give this movie 2 stars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like I said, there's nothing I'm going to remember about it. There's so much that just made no sense, and it took way too long. The parts that I liked were good, and it had moments where I was like, "This is a great movie," but dude, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it. It's the worst good movie I've seen in a long time. Like Like I would say it's a good movie, but I'm only giving it 2 stars.
The worst good movie, yes.
Yeah.
I get it.
Like, so that makes sense? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you ask me, I'd be like, yeah, that's a good movie. I'm only going to give it 2 stars, though.
Okay.
Like I said, it's kind of like the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, they're the Super Bowl champions. Are they a good team? Not really.
Right. I get it. It makes sense.
All right, good. I'm glad you got it. James, I think that covers it then for the Tomorrow War. I mean, you got anything else to add?
No, subscribe, comment. Thank you for listening. You know, our 400 folks who subscribed already.
That's right. Yeah, we got to 400. On the road to 500. 500 next. Let's see how long it takes us. Hopefully not that long.
Yeah.
All right, then. That's for Film is Literature. Check us out on that Podcast Hell channel on YouTube. For James, I'm Justin. James, last words.
Have a great day. It's summertime. It's getting hot, you know.
That's right.
So be safe. Have a great. Yeah.
All right, guys. Till next time. We'll check you later.
All right.